Okay, so in today's video, we're discussing the decision to buy trucks and become an asset-owned freight brokerage as opposed to being a non-asset-owned freight brokerage. Because let's face it, at some point, you'll be looking for opportunities to grow, to move your business to the next level. And it's natural to think about buying trucks. And what I hear people say often is, hey, Brandon, I'm going to go out and buy some trucks and become an asset-owned freight brokerage. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad or good decision in and of itself. But the question that I think that you have to answer is it a good or bad decision for you at the time you're considering the change? So in today's video, I'll share with you 5 things I think you should consider before buying trucks. So stay tuned. So now before we get started, this channel shares the ups and downs, the side to sides of my journey as an entrepreneur. And I share these videos with people like you who find it beneficial to learn from the experiences of someone who's doing what it is that you're interested in doing. So now if you like these videos, please smash that like button. Make the like button turn blue. And if you want more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And then hit that notification bell to be notified every time I release new videos. Now let's get into the business. So now our topic today is, should we buy trucks and become an asset-owned freight brokerage as compared to a non-asset-owned? Now, this could be a good decision for one company and a bad decision for another. So when I'm thinking about making the decision to buy trucks, I want to understand how this decision is going to affect my business as a whole, the good and the bad. Because far too often we make a decision based on just the good parts and we don't consider the bad. And then when the bad comes and it rears its ugly head, we're not prepared and we don't have a plan. So it's important to make sure that your business is prepared for the additional responsibility and liability that comes with making the decision to buy trucks. And not only that, are you structured so that you can handle the risk that you're exposing your business to with that type of decision? And can you still sleep at night after making that decision? I've owned my business, Alliance Logistics, for the last 5 years going on 6. And I've contemplated owning trucks. But I've just not been convinced that it's the right decision for me just yet. Here are 5 things that I've considered and think you may want to as well. So now one of the biggest considerations in my opinion is the financial aspect of owning trucks. And yeah, we hear people say all the time, I'm going to go and buy trucks because I can make a lot of money in the trucking industry. And you very well could make a lot of money in the trucking industry. But the part that we don't see is that you are also going to spend a lot of money in the trucking industry. So if you're making a lot of money, you're spending a lot of money, they cancel each other out. There's nothing left for you. That's not every situation, but usually when you first get started, there are a lot of hidden costs that you don't see. So you're not planning for those costs, and when they happen, you realize then your profit is not what you thought it would be. As a matter of fact, you may be in the red now. So it's good to take a look at the trucking industry on both sides of the coin, the good and the bad, as we mentioned earlier. Now, some of the things that come with the trucking industry are your costs are going to be increased. You know, you're in a freight brokerage business now where you have minimal overhead costs. Now, when you go and get a truck, let's just start off at $100,000 for a truck. So right out of the gate, you're $100,000 in the hole. Not to mention all of the costs that come with the ownership of the truck. And just to name a few, when you buy the truck, after you buy the truck now, you have all of the costs that come with it, like your insurance, your payment for the truck. When you look at the maintenance that you have for the truck, the fuel that you're going to be paying. So there's a lot of cost that we don't really factor in. You know, we say we do, but when it really boils down to it, our numbers may be a little bit off and we're making that profit seem a little bit more than it really is. As a matter of fact, sometimes it's quite a lot more than it really is. So the financial piece is something that we have to really look at closely. And now we haven't even mentioned the fact that when you buy trucks, that also comes with employees. So if you have employees now, you have to look at the fact that you got to pay employees. And not only do you have to pay them, you're going to have to pay a portion of their Social Security and Medicare tax as a business owner. You know, so it's a lot of costs that come with owning trucks. So for me, that's something that I would have to look at very closely. And where I am in my business right now, that just wouldn't be the best move for me. Now, if someone else would look at it and, you know, when you look at your business model, where it is you're right now and where you want to go, and if you can fit that in, then go for it. But definitely consider the cost before taking that plunge. So now another consideration is your own limitations as a business owner. And I know out of the gate, we say, hey, whatever task that I'm presented with, I can overcome it. I can get it done. And I applaud your confidence. It's important to have that kind of confidence. But we also have to understand that it is a huge task to get one business off of the ground. And when you haven't really gotten that business where you need it to be to where it can function on its own, and you do not have to be as involved as you were when you first got started. If you're still in the weeds of a business and now you're trying to grow and build another business, that is going to really complicate things. So when you really are looking at this, I think we have to say, hey, where am I in the business that I'm running right now? You know, how far have I gotten down the road? How close have I gotten to reaching the goal that I started out with? And if you haven't reached that goal yet, you haven't really gotten that business to where you want to get it, then is it really a good idea to complicate it with bringing something else on and then having to start in the weeds with that and not be able to pay attention to the business that you were building now, the freight brokerage? So how is that going to work out? You know, when you really look at it, sometimes we start another business too soon. And when I say too soon, your first business is not where it should be, where you want it to be. You haven't reached your financial goals yet. You haven't reached your service goals maybe yet. Your profit margins aren't what you want them to be yet. So why move into something else when you haven't accomplished what you wanted to accomplish in the first business yet? So now another aspect that we have to take a look at is the liability that comes with the truck. I don't know about in your area, but in mine, if you're watching TV, it's hard to watch TV without seeing a commercial where an attorney is telling someone if they're involved with a truck, a big truck in an accident, give us a call. We'll make sure you get your money. Trucks are required to have $750,000 of insurance, and most trucking companies are going to have in excess of $1 million. So there's a reason why that insurance is necessary. They know that, you know, people come after big trucking companies, or people come after big trucks. Doesn't matter whether it's a big company or not. When you're involved in accidents, they're going to come after you to get paid. And that could definitely put you in a situation where your business is now in jeopardy. So that's a lot of liability to take on, especially when you're not out there driving the truck. You have someone else driving the truck. Now you have to, you know, basically trust that they're going to do what they're supposed to do. And we know that does not always happen. So liability is one of those issues that we definitely have to take a look at. Dependency. I would be completely dependent on the efforts of someone else, a driver, in order for me to make money. So I absorb all of the cost. I got to pay for the truck, all of the maintenance that comes with the truck. And now I'm totally dependent on the driver in order for me to make money. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't necessarily like that idea at this stage of my business, to be completely dependent on someone else to drive a truck in order for me to make money, because I know what happens in those situations. Sometimes drivers don't want to drive. Sometimes different things happen in life and they can't drive the truck for whatever reason. They get tickets sometimes, and that causes some issues. So there's some responsibility that comes with that, some liability that comes with the ownership of a truck. So when I look at it and being totally dependent on someone else, that just gives me a little pause, because I've been down that road. You know, I've had a truck, owned a truck, and had a driver, and sometimes the driver didn't want to drive. And what I found is that the driver and the person that owned the truck usually have two completely different agendas. You know, the driver is trying to get paid to, you know, to take care of home. We get that. But the business owner is trying to build a business. And those are two different agendas. And oftentimes what happens is they don't understand each other. And before you know it, the driver is gone. And you don't have that driver anymore. Now you got to start and find someone else. So now the other side of the coin is you may have a very good driver, but as a small business, you're not able to keep up with his expectations. He was thinking that he was going to be getting paid more money, getting more miles, getting more loads, but you aren't as fast as he thought you would be. You're not keeping up with that expectation. So now he's looking to go other places because it's about making money. And if he can make more money in other places, then he's very likely to go somewhere else. So it's a hard relationship to navigate, especially when you first get started, because you got to get out and try to find work. And you want to do that at a pace that, kind of keeps up with your driver so that he's comfortable with the money he's making. He is willing to stay on with you because he sees that you're growing and you're willing to work to get those loads. But if he doesn't see that, he's probably going to go somewhere else. So we can fail new drivers when we first get started and not meet their expectations and it not work out. And what we have to understand is that driver retention is tough for big companies. So it's certainly going to be a problem for small companies. And on top of all of these newfound responsibilities, you still have a freight brokerage to run. So this is definitely something that you should consider before owning trucks. And at the end of the day, what it comes down to, in my opinion, is what is your risk tolerance? How much risk are you willing to accept? And how much risk can you accept and still sleep at night? And if you're okay with the risk, if you look at it and say, I see that there's a bigger reward than there are risk, then maybe it's something that you're willing to take a plunge into. And if not, maybe not. So once you see that picture, you can make a decision on what is best for you. So now that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you found this information helpful. Don't forget to do all of the good stuff. Like, subscribe, share with your network. Thank you so much. And also, if you are interested in learning more about the freight broker business, don't forget to go over to our website at www.brandonthefreightbroker.com and register for my free 5-video series where we're showing you what the business is all about. So again, thank you so much for your time. Wish you the very best in all that you endeavor to do. See you at the top because the bottom is much too crowded.